Okay, so I'm Major General Wood. I will be conducting a rank up interview today. Can you say me what is your current rank and your duties?
My current rank is Sergeant Major.
What are your duties? Mr. Wolf?
I'm sorry, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Do I need to repeat that, sir?
No, you should only said what are your duties as a Sergeant Major.
Okay. My duties are to oversee roleplay at the West Gate, to oversee the soft hat personnel, as this is the last soft hat position before hard hat, and to serve as a liaison between soft hats below myself and officers above myself.
Excellent answer. Are you only guarding Westgate or any other areas?
According to the manual that I was given, I'm only to be at the West Gate unless instructed otherwise by an officer above myself.
That's right, but if there are enough personnel at Westgate, you can also go as a Sergeant Major to AP. So, what's your next rank and your duties?
My next rank is lieutenant, and this is the first hard hat position. Um, its primary responsibilities is I'll be shifted from guarding West Gate to South Gate as well as the South Barracks. I'll also start a more active role in training new recruits as well as assisting with soft hats. And I'll have to learn more about the TRU and Delta Force, and before I can go any further, I'll have to determine which specialty unit that I'll.
That's right. Can you say me RP13 and RP14, sir?
RP-13 is listed as a faction in RP, and it's non-RP behavior that happens within game faction. It's listed as unlawful game factions, such as unlawful release of prisoners or execution, the execution of civilians. Do I need to list the possible and penalties for that as well?
No, it's okay. Alright.
And RP-14 is considered sexual harassment, and this is any form of non-consensual sexual actions, including simulation or explicit dialogue that could be ethnic or it could be LGBT as well. It doesn't just have to be um, heterosexual. It can be all-encompassing sexual harassment.
Okay, what is. Can you say me the 5 base rules?
Are five base rules, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, pardon me, sir, but I was under the impression that we had 10 base rules, not five.
We have actually 10 army rules and 5 base rules. Maybe no one sent them to you. In this case, I would accept that and just ask you what means for you AFK.
Okay. So AFK means when someone is not responsive, um, this is not tolerated. They sometimes people can have glitches in the system, so we try to get their attention. We try to put a message in chat. We then try to use verbal commands to see if we can get their attention. Some of the higher ranking officers will tase the individual. If we still can't get their response, then we'll start recording body cam. That way we have evidence that the member has been AFK. I do have two different times listed. I have a 5 minute warning and then a 10 minute where they have been AFK, where there's been no response from the individual.
Yeah, so if you doing a AFK check one time and no one general is online, you should have your body cam on. On the body cam, you should clear see who's the player, and if you tase him, he should go down. If not, it's maybe a glitch. But can you say me also the punishment of this? Also for the punishment for this. Also, what's the army punishment, and also what's the server punishment?
The server punishment can be disconnection from the server, and this is if a player has no activity for more than 5 minutes. From the army, it could be dismission. My apologies, I'm having a hard time saying that word. Dismission, dismission from the the faction. Um, it can it can be taken into consideration by um, a higher like a higher ranking general, but typically this is not a tolerated um, situation. If it depends on exactly the circumstance. If there was an extenuating circumstance and just a couple of minutes later they come online, and something happened, then maybe the FG or DFG, may give some slack. But if it's a true standalone that this was blatant AFK, then it would rule in dismissal from the faction, because it is one that is not tolerated. We're not here to be AFK and just to collect salary.
So some things were right, some things not. But the thing, the dismissal is only in this case if he have already 2 reps. The punishment of the army is 1 rep. If you had already 2 reps and the AFK is your 3rd rep, you get a dismissal. The server ban, like the server punishment, if someone send it in to the admins, there's will be a 3-day ban. It's okay. Maybe you don't know that, but I will accept that. And the next thing I want to ask you, what are the 10 army rules and also the punishments?
Yes, sir. So the 10 army rules that I have is Army 1 is disrespect. It's unprofessional attitude towards colleagues or civilians. and it results in one reprimand or dismissal. Army 2, improper address. Failure to use sir or ma'am with senior ranks earns one warning. Army 3, corruption. Requesting or accepting bribes guarantees immediate dismissal. Army 4, unauthorized force. Using weapons without warnings results in reprimand or dismissal. Army 5, vehicle misuse. Taking carrier vehicles without permission earns one warning. Army 6, insubordination. Disobeying command orders leads to reprimand or dismissal. Army 7, personal use of military vehicles. Using military vehicles for personal purposes earns a reprimand or dismissal. Army 8 is server violations. It's breaking server rules, which results in a reprimand or dismissal. Army 9 is unauthorized departure. It's leaving the base in uniform without permission earns one reprimand. Army 10 is accumulative penalties. 2 warnings equal 1 reprimand. 3 reprimands mean dismissal.
That was excellent. I will ask you a little situation, and you will try. Maybe you already know it, but you will answer as good as you can. What if you see a recruit doing his watches with the car?
May I ask for just one clarification? Is the car a personal vehicle or is it a BC?
Army, actually, personal vehicles should be not on base, but we will say it's an army jeep.
Okay, so he's doing his watches on base. Is that correct, sir?
With the car.
Okay, sir. According to our rules, watches are not to be done um, while using a vehicle on base. We should be running to our watches as recruits. We should never be using any vehicle to do our watches as a recruit.
Okay, I will give you a little harder question, because it's a rank up from sergeant to lieutenant. You see FG breaking a rule, and it doesn't matter what rule, but you see FG breaking a rule. How would you react?
Well, as bad as I would hate to, because I have a lot of respect for FG Lulu Bean. I have a duty and an obligation to the Army to submit evidence for whatever rule that she would break. And part of being a leader of the faction is there are a set of rules that she must adhere to as well by being a leader. So I would have to report her specifically through Discord, through submitting a ticket, through capturing body cam footage, everything to show proof that she did break a rule. As bad as I wouldn't want to, I would still be obligated through the obligation I have for the Army and to the integrity of you know the server itself.
Excellent answer. And you said something's wrong. You also don't know the five base rules, but what I see in you, You have a good knowledge, and that's why you passed the interview, and I'm congrats to your new rank. Here you see the 5 base rules again. I will send you them also on Discord that you have them just for the next interviews. Yeah, so the thing is, the 5 base rules are in the 10 army rules, but we use them. So that's all.